Hi, I'm Sunny,
Hi, I'm Courtney, and this is Plot Twist.
and we're friends. On our last episode, episode 2, we talked a little about custody, well, a lot about custody and the court papers and how that, how that ended
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how it started. I think today we kind of want to get into like how we helped our kids through the emotions, just kind of see like how we both went about taking care of our kids' emotions while we were going through this. I know, there was a lot of like new things for the kids on my side of that perspective. Like even still today, Kira will say stuff that I'm like, honey, you don't mean that. But I'm sure like she's going through the phases, let's be real.
Yeah. She's in that preteen stage.
Driving me nuts. Driving you nuts, I'm sure. But we kids take it different and they watch and going through the emotions with them. Like, I don't know about you, but like, it was actually really hard, not just for their emotions, but for mine as well, because here I had to sit and talk nicely about you and my ex. And that's another
Yeah.
thing that I make clear is like, I do not believe in talking badly about the other parent in front of the kids.
Well, and we had that written in the court papers.
Yeah. Just because it's in the papers doesn't mean it always happens.
Right. I mean, like, we get frustrated, but I mean, I always let the kids know that, I'm like, why are they wanting to do it this way? And then I'm like, I'm not mad at your mom.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
not mad at your other dad, your
Yeah.
stepdad. I'm just
Frustrated.
frustrated. I would do
Yeah.
it differently because we are different people. We are living our lives differently. We're married to different people.
Well, and I think it's important, like, I don't feel like you should talk badly about the other parent, but I think it's important for kids to see when you do disagree once in a while. 'Cause let's be real, if you're throwing your child out in the world,
It's
right?
not perfect. It's rough.
It's
Our
hard.
real world is rough.
And so you want your kid to be able to know, like, conflict will happen. That's okay.
Mm.
Like, and you want them to know, like, standing up for themselves is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think as parents, we want to know that our kids are going to go out into the world and be safe. And so when it came to the courts and stuff like that, it wasn't like, God, I can't believe they wouldn't, it was, I wish they would have just talked to me, That's all I could really say is like, all of this would have been better if we could have just talked. And I even like in those moments would say, guys, like they're doing the best that they can do in this moment. And they always worried, about everything going on around us as a group.
Yeah.
Like if we were okay. I remember the first time they came home and told me about their bonus mom. Ooh, I don't know about any of you other moms out there, but that feeling of like another mom getting called mom at first for me was like almost heart stabbing, but I encouraged it. I told them that was a good thing. I sat there and they had the emotion of love for you. And instead of being like, no, she's Courtney, I was like, I'm happy that you love seeing your bonus mom. That's so awesome. So like, as far as an emotion that we had to go through with like the custody and the court and stuff like that, that would be a big one.
And that wasn't even something that like we were talking with the kids like right away. I don't really think they saw me like that for a couple years.
No, it was a couple of years.
Yeah,
But it's still that moment.
Still that moment because it was coming,
And then, we're talking about the kids' emotions in general.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the ones that, like, I had to sit there and support, even if it hurt.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting at. Like, and even with the the original, like, not the second time we went to court, but the first time we went to court, like, there was a lot of harsh feelings through that one.
Yeah.
And a lot of fear with it on my part.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, there was
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's something that so you remember when we took the kids to Disneyland and we were at the parks and I literally got sick of hearing my own name. I mean, John and I had been married. This was, John and I had been married for almost 2 years at this point, right? This was not long. I think this was the year did you get married in 23 or 24? I mean,
24.
not that it's like
I know,
super relevant to the story, but
24, I think.
yeah. So, okay. So yeah, it was like right before you got married, the kids were, I just got so sick of my own name. They were still calling me Courtney. Like I never wanted to like,
It almost
ever
feels
push.
disrespectful after a while.
Well, yeah. To the
Because you're
point.
like, I'm sitting here raising you like you're my kids. I'm taking the time, and yet your
Correct.
mom, you, whoever can't feel enough to be like, no, she really is being the
Yeah.
mom. Trust me,
Yeah.
I feel that personally, like
Yeah.
right now, because I won't name names, but we'll call her Alex. Right? Alex and I, like, I can't say it's the easiest. I'm a stepmom too, so I can't say like that relationship is like this relationship. I definitely have both sides of this where I have one where I'm really close and then another one where I unfortunately am not as close. Even if I try, like I feel like I don't succeed. I'm like I said, I'm kind of a hard person to be around. So it's understandable. And I don't hold any grievances for it. She's a good mom and I'm there, always there to support her as a mom and, those girls. But it's not one of the easier relationships. I can honestly say that. Like, in light of, like, I hope to get there with this. I hope to get there with her the way that we did, at least
Right.
in a more like calm fashion, because at least they'll be around too. But I feel like,
Well, we've known each other now for like 6 years. So it's taken quite a long time to get
well,
to
and
this
that's it.
point.
It's patience and
Mhm.
understanding and communication, just time and learning to trust the person.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so like going back to the story, so I was like, you know what, for this trip, just call me mom because I'm like sick of my own name. I
Right.
like it's you know, the kids came back and they like had told you, and I remember you calling me, we were like talking about it, and you were like, oh yeah, I was talking with Mike, and like you are now mom there, and Mike is dad here, right? Like, and we talked about it, and like in the back of my head, I was like, you know what, like that's a good idea, like it's easier. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, I had a really hard time with the kids calling Mike dad at first.
Yeah.
Which is weird for me to say because I'm the step parent. It really shouldn't bother me that much, but I think it was almost like a kind of jealousy in a way because
It
at
came
that
easier
point,
for
like, well, yeah, like I had been in the kids' life for like 4 years. I had really stepped into like being the mom at our place,
I
right? And for it to like take that long, I was like jealous because like, yeah, they had known Mike for what, year and a half, almost two, something like that, and I had been
somewhere
there
around
like
there.
4, and like we didn't know Mike very well still. Like we knew
Right.
him, we had more interactions at that point, but we still didn't really like know much,
Yep.
right? And
These
so
kids just fell in love with him.
yeah, I was really jealous. There were like, and honestly, the kids had probably heard me like talk like, "Ugh, I just don't understand. Like he gets the dad title already, and it
Right.
wasn't to vent to the kids, but it was more like as I was venting to my husband about it. And, if they had walked in or whatever,
Right.
and it's like not mad at them, just and I'd have to make sure they would understand that because it's like not supposed to like be hearing me, like talk
No,
about it. And so there is a lot. I mean, it lasted for a little
I
bit, but I obviously am like over it. It was more the initial part. And
I can tell you, like, from my side of it, there was, like, on the step parent part of it, my two stepdaughters, there was a little more feeling with that one with me
Mm,
because it's like it would flip back and forth so much. And it was like, okay, you need to make up your mind on what I am to you. I'm either, Sunny, the fun friend like you hang around with, or I'm mom.
yeah.
But you can't have it both ways. And so, like, for me, there did end up becoming a after I had talked to my husband, obviously. But there was a conversation that finally happened where it's like, okay, you need to make a choice on what you actually want me to be to you right now. Because the back and forth, it would hurt. It was like one day I'm Sunny, your best friend, but the next day I'm your mom and I feel loved, but you can't make up your mind because you know, to me, it felt like, and I don't know if this is true. I'm just off of my own
Right.
parent like experience.
Mm,
To me, it felt like Alex kind of would tell them not to call me that, and that's why they would do it. Now, again, I'm not saying that's facts. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, in that moment,
yeah, you're
that's how it felt to
speculating.
me. Yeah, that's how I felt in that moment. Now, is that how it really is? I couldn't tell you,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I know, like, on my side of things as mom, when you came into the picture, I didn't I didn't want you to feel rejected,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I didn't know how
It
to.
all happened so fast,
Yeah,
honestly. It really did happen fast, and
painfully
I
so.
mean, when one of my things, and I know I told you this a lot, and I often told the kids, like, I don't wanna step on anybody's toes, like, I'm not here to, like, replace, I'm here to be a part of.
I mean, we even recently had a conversation about that.
Mhm.
If you remember correctly, or if I remember correctly, either or, we talked about how I've been feeling lately. Even in the video, I kind of brought it up, like
Yeah.
how I have had moments where I feel like I'm invalid, I'm voided out. I don't need to exist. And so why do I keep trying? And that was a really hard thing, and I know, like, you work different hours than everybody and everything, but I had a really hard time with that with you.
Yeah.
Just accepting you and being okay. It's not like you were a bad person, it's not like you rubbed me wrong or anything,
Those are big changes.
but
Big
it happened so
changes.
fast, it happened so quick,
Mhm.
and all I could think is she's just, like, coming in to take over.
Well,
That's it.
everything was shut down too,
I
which
know, which
made
made it so
everything,
much worse.
yeah, way, way worse. And so, yeah, that was really hard.
It was. But I mean, you know, the one thing that I can give us is we grew from it. I've said this before again in video. Yeah, I was going on with the conversation that we had. So recently we had a conversation where I just kind of, so with the Alex side of this, right now I'm kind of feeling like I am not fully allowed to be a mom. I've got my own grievances, so like there's stuff where I'm trying to be careful, but like I was talking to Courtney the other day and we were talking about how have kind of just let go of everything and stepped back. And I got told, you guys noticed, but it was in that feeling of like, I don't feel like I'm a good enough mom, you know? So it doesn't matter if you're a step parent and you have the feelings of you're not enough, or you're a mom, or a dad, or a grandparent, or a sister taking care of your
A
sibling,
guardian.
a guardian of any sort.
Feeling like
Everybody
you're
has
not
that feeling
feeling,
enough.
you're not adequate to to do this. You're not,
Mhm.
I mean, those are very real and very common feelings, and nobody's perfect, especially when it comes to raising little goblins. Like it's so hard, especially in the world today where like social media is a big thing and having to look like a certain image
Mhm.
and comparing yourself to others, whether that's how you parent, whether that's where you live, whether it's how you look. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so hard. I mean, Kira keeps asking me, she's like, when do I get to have Snapchat? Or when do I get to have Facebook? I'm like, I don't want you
No.
having it till like you're 16,
Yeah.
the
The
youngest,
answer is no.
Like, I prefer 18, but if, we'll see how responsible you are at 16.
We'll see how technology goes for
That's
what.
true. That's
Like, that's
true.
my thing is like, I'm waiting for them to come out with they have Chat GPT where you can ask it anything now. I'm like waiting for it to come out to where you're just consistently talking to your AIs.
Yeah.
I need to do that. I mean, it's getting that way. Look at
Yeah.
Alexa, look at, Chat GPT. It's getting to a point where you can have full-blown conversations on your
Yeah,
phone.
it's so crazy. Well, and that's what like so at our house we don't let the kids watch like YouTube or like TikTok. Like we don't let them watch that kind of stuff. The only things, it's like okay, if you're gonna watch YouTube, Kyra likes making paper airplanes. So like if we're in the room or we know that's what he's watching, like
Yep,
then that's
same.
fine. You know?
I
Because
don't
we
I
don't
don't
want
know if you've noticed, but like the kids don't answer their phones that often when they're
yeah.
here. I don't allow their phones at all.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna go put it down, and then when it's like close to nighttime, then you can use your phone.
Yeah, we've kind of started leaning a little more towards that. A
It's
little
so
bit.
much for my house.
Yeah, yeah. But a big reason, like, we made that decision for our house was, the kids were telling us, I saw this video of this guy who walked on water with a shark. I don't know, shark or something. That's not something they told me, but I just can't think of one right now. But like, they legit would like believe that happened. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
AI. Like, that's what freaks me out is,
And then
like,
they
they
sit there and
can't.
argue with you about it.
Yeah,
And you're like,
like,
"No, dude, for
no,
real, that's not
not
real."
real. And so, like, until they can show me that they can, like, and I mean, there's some good AI out there that I'm like, I need to watch this again to see, like, because it looks like real, you know?
Right, right.
And so it's like, until I know they can differentiate between what's actually real on the internet versus what's not, which is really hard, even with news stories.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. Like, you don't know what's real and what's not
yeah,
anymore.
you can't
There
rely
is
on the internet for a lot of things now, which is crazy.
which, I mean, I've kind of brought up my opinion on that too before. I don't know if to you, but to, like, a few other people I know. Like, so I think the internet is gonna be, like, maybe control the source of information. Who
Yeah.
knows? Book burnings used to be a thing. Who knows? That's just
Yeah.
a little conspiracy theorist in me, but she doesn't come out often. Don't worry, guys. She just like kind of hibernates in there and she's like, well, maybe.
Maybe.
So, something I kind of want to bring up is I am so grateful for you. I know that's random. You weren't expecting it.
No,
Just so
I
you know, guys, she wasn't expecting it. Out of all the hard stuff we've gone through, the arguments, the court, the annoying holidays, the getting annoyed because so and so wants to take such and so and so
Yeah.
and such, there has never been a day that I haven't been grateful for you to come in my kid's life. So heartfelt moment.
Cry.
It really is one of those things where, like, even, okay, this is going on social media, so it's now locked in stone. I have told my husband, if you and your husband ever split up, I'm making sure you get half custody. I'm like, I like her too much. I can't get rid of her. Like, she gets, I don't care if I have to share my half, like, she gets half that, like, screw everybody else.
I don't know what I'd do out of those kids.
Nor do
Love 'em so
I.
much.
But I am. I could have not picked a better stepmom to be in their life. So
I'm really awkward when it comes to compliments.
there you go, guys. Am I the a-hole? Yes, I am. How do you corner somebody like that?
Yeah. Yep. Here's your one-on-one for the day.
Told you I'm the a-hole. But I am. I'm grateful for that because my kids turned out better than I ever expected they could have been.
They really are good kids.
They are. And I don't ever look at them as just mine or just your guys's. Like I said this before, we are a big family. Like I don't know if I'm okay to say this out loud, but I'm going to say it anyways. I'm like the aunt to the new baby.
Yeah.
And it's not even my baby. It's not even my blood. It's my kid's blood. But I'm the aunt to the new baby. We've gotten that close because we've taken the time.
Or we've made that decision because that's really what it is.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. If you have that choice to make it a good relationship, you can get there. It really comes down to being
and
a good
sitting there
person.
and not bad mouthing each other. Like we were originally getting into how you handle your children's emotions.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to come to you crying. I don't know if you guys ever got the conversations from the kids about how we should move into the same house.
Yep. Cairo has brought that up more than once. And it's so funny when it's brought up around Jonathan because Jonathan's like,
no,
that would not work.
That would be a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Kira,
Listen, we get along now, but I don't think I could live with you.
No. I'm sorry, but you believe in God too much for me. That's fair. That's very fair. One broken dish gone.
Yeah.
I remember when Kira used to say it.
Mm-hmm. That's right. She did.
For the longest time, you should move in with my mom and dad is what she would tell me.
Yeah.
And I say, no, sweetie, like that's their home. Don't worry. We'll get something good.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, guys, we had to eat before we did this.
I drink mine, but it's all the way over there. And
I got
T-Rex arms.
I got a big head.
Yeah, that's my favorite quote.
Love that show. My favorite quote from it is keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And I think about that in our relationship
It's relevant.
all the time.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward is, from Eat the Robinsons. I don't know if everybody knows that, so I'll just state it anyways. And it has so much meaning because when things are hard, you just kind of want to stop. Like, I know that for me. There was so many times I'm like, if I just give up, it's not like they're going to notice. If I just step back, it's not like they're gonna know they noticed. I didn't
Yeah,
think they would notice because I didn't feel like I was as involved as I was, and even
but
still, I don't because, like I said, I don't get the day-to-day like you do.
well, and I mean, kind of talking about the kids' emotions and how they've have like divorce and having two sets of parents, like two homes, has affected. So a couple years ago, this was before you and Mike. At some point after I came into the picture, there was a time. I think it was kind of when you were like going through most of your health issues.
Oh my gosh, I'm still
Um,
dealing with that crap.
yeah, but it was when it was really bad where you like weren't able
Where
to
I was
have the
going to the
kids.
hospital and I was
Yeah,
going in for surgeries, and
yeah.
oh my gosh, it was just
Uh,
such a nightmare.
I was worried about the kids because they really, I noticed, especially with Kira, but Daniel and Cairo too, they were starting to develop separation anxiety. And like I said, I don't know if you noticed it because
I
like
did.
at our house, like they would come home and they, to our home and they would, obviously be happy to see us, right? Because we had more of a 50, it was more 50-50 because she lived a
Mhm.
lot closer.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it was like, when are we gonna see mom again? Because they weren't sure because of all, I mean, it
because I
wasn't
was gonna
wasn't you were like not trying to be there. You just like couldn't be there.
physically couldn't have been.
Yeah, and so it was really
And,
bad. And it
like,
caused
guys,
to
let's
leave to the
also remember
store.
well, and let's also, like, bring up the fact that this was, like, all during COVID.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's like, "Stay 6 feet away," and so on and so forth. Like, I was going through medical stuff during COVID.
Yeah, and you're like trying to not like you can't get COVID.
I kept getting sick and getting infections and stuff like that, and I kept having to go to the hospital. I had 2 surgeries in 1 year.
Yeah. And I mean the kids were young. They were really young
It
and
was really hard for them.
yeah, like John and I like the kids would be with my parents and like we'd go to the store or we'd go run an errand or something, and we'd and this was, I mean, before they had their own phones. Like they would use my
Right?
parents' phones and they would like, when are you gonna come home? It's like we left 5 minutes ago. Like we'll be right back,
Yeah.
And there was that anxiety there. And it was, I mean, I still see it a little bit, but I think now that like there's a lot more stability,
Yeah.
like
Well, and here, when
that's
we're
helped.
here, like, if there's still a little bit of that, it's probably because we stay so busy when we're here
Yeah.
that, like, it flies by, and that sucks.
Yeah.
I can tell you that honesty. Like, even it's funny because we say that the kids just got separation anxiety, but the truth is so did I.
Mhm.
Every time, like, the kids would leave, and even still to this day, it's like my heart breaks every time.
It's
And
nice to have a night, where I'm like, okay, I don't have to worry about like the older kids. Like,
oh my
I don't have
gosh.
to worry about dinner. Like the first night, it's like
Well, it's
quiet
like
and it's like almost like a date night in a way, right?
mhm,
But then like the next night comes around and I'm like, dang, it's
it's
been like for
quiet.
you when I'm alone, like it's so slow. I'm like, the house is too quiet. Like
Yeah.
when I had Malachi last summer and we had the 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, right? Like the night before the kids were gonna be leaving to your house, I would have like a panic attack because I'm like,
Oh,
I'm like, what am I gonna do without them here? Not because like they were helping. I mean, they were helping, but it was more I wanted them there. I wanted them with me. I wanted to like do stuff with them. Like it wanted to just like, I started binge watching a show with or we would go
yep.
on walks or because I mean I was super postpartum and I had a really rough birthing experience.
Dash
And
it.
so like my healing took a lot longer than we
Yeah.
anticipated, but and then they would be gone and I would just like the whole time be so sad. I'm like, it's too quiet.
So, fun
It's not
fact,
crazy.
it's silent,
Yeah.
times slower,
Yeah.
and I still feel that way to this day.
Yeah.
Every time I mean, you'll never have to worry about anything ever.
Yeah.
But, it's like I got Cairo for that week, and all I could think was, I don't wanna give this back. I don't
Yeah.
wanna give this up. Like,
Yeah.
and I know that sounds bad. It does, but, like, I miss those moments. We
Mhm.
sat there and we watched shows and we did stupid stuff. We went sledding,
Mhm.
and it was the experience.
Yeah.
I adore my children. My children are everything to me. And so for me to not have them, it's like a piece of me is always missing until they come back home. And then I'm great. And it sucks because like even my oldest, he's at an age now to where like he doesn't come over as often. And I mean, there's reasons behind that, but on that same note, it's still a piece of me that's missing right now.
Yeah.
And I want to honestly say that. And I'm trying to do what's best for him and, think about his life and his future. Just like, we've talked about, the kids' emotions really do matter. They
Yeah.
do. But so does their future and how we go about it.
Yeah.
And we've tried to make sure that we don't talk bad to each other about each other. We've
Yeah.
tried to make sure that, the kids understand that even when we weren't doing well, we were doing well,
Mhm.
and we've tried to make sure that the kids didn't hear about the arguments or the courts or stuff like that. I think the only thing that the kids ever knew is that both parents had a lawyer for some reason, if they
Yeah.
ever heard anything.
Yeah. I think even still to this day, it's a little traumatizing for them in the sense of like they'll come to, come back to us
Mhm.
and they'll like start to say, and they're like, no, we can't talk about that. Like, and I only pry because I'm like, listen, I guarantee you it's not bad,
Right.
like, I would say almost 100% of the time,
I'm the
it's
same
not,
way.
it's like, it's their house, or
Mhm.
you know what, that's
Their
okay.
rules.
Yeah, their rule or whatever, I'm like, I think they don't want to talk about things because they're like, okay, we don't want them to like go to court again. We don't want them to fight. We don't like
Well, and
they've
for
got
my
like we're getting
house, I don't
along.
know about you, but for my house, I've always had a kind of a general rule not to talk about the other house. Because that stops a lot of like fake gossip, that it
Yeah.
stops a lot of like so and so did such and just a lot of problems and drama that I don't feel need to be there.
Yeah.
Now, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've told them if there's something bad ever happens, like,
Yeah.
please let me
Right.
know. Like, and like, we've gone through like lists multiple, quadruple
Yeah.
times of like, if this ever happens to you or this ever happens to you.
Yeah.
But like, as far as like knowing about what's going on exactly in the other home, I've never seen much of a point behind it because I have to
Yeah.
trust you either way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, I really like that we're different on this because like your reasoning, I 100% can see that. And like my reasoning is more like I want you guys to feel like you can communicate about anything, and I want you to know that it's not going to cause an argument because I mean, obviously if I'm like, okay, maybe we could go about, like if there was something that I'm like there hasn't been, that I can remember.
I mean, the only thing that, like, I kind of felt was kinda rushed was Cairo getting on the medications.
That's not what I was referring to.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
like, the only thing
No.
that, like, I could see
Yeah.
a disagreement on recently would have been that,
Oh yeah, no, I'm more
but it's
referring
not
to
even like a
like
disagreement.
if the kids came home and they were like, Cairo's got kind of a big mouth, right? Like he will just tell you he'll tell that to strangers too.
No,
I mean,
he
like,
will exaggerate
and he
everything
exaggerates.
to you.
Yes.
That's what he
And
does.
so I was like, say that because that's not what happened or whatever, And
Yeah.
it's like, okay. So then it's like, tell me, like, you guys can be open, you can tell me, like, and that's how I see it is I want them to be open to communicate and then it's not gonna cause problems between us.
Well, and I do try
And
to,
so
like,
that's like
make the
my
kids
view
know,
of
like, if
it.
something there's feeling that they need to talk about, they totally can.
Right.
But it's not like I go up to the kids and go, "Okay, so what happened to you today?" Because,
Oh
like,
yeah,
I
no, it's
want
not like
them to
that.
tell me information.
Yeah,
I don't pry. I let them come to me with it.
I guess I don't pry. Yeah, it's more like, okay, Cairo's
Pry
like
is such a
this, and
dirty
this.
word in these kind of
Yeah, I
situations
guess because it's
because
not pride, because it's like if you want to tell me, like tell me,
yeah.
and then if you two like
Well, it's like if you've got
if
a
Daniel's
question,
got a different view of what
talk to me.
happened than Kira, it's like okay, like let's
Mhm.
talk about this because you
So,
guys are arguing about it instead of
yeah,
just like keeping it quiet.
yeah,
Like let's talk.
yeah.
So I guess
Let's
it's
just
not
get
even
over
really
with.
prying. It's
No.
more just like
Trying to help the kids through their emotions.
exactly, exactly. That's
That's
exactly
all
what
we're
it
trying
is.
to do.
Yeah.
And, like the kids, people don't realize that those emotions are really strong for them.
Yeah.
And they're so young and they don't understand them. So when, they come home and they're like, my dad seems like he's always on the computer and he doesn't spend enough time with me, or my mom always seems like she's just always outside working or whatever. Like, they're coming to you because they're feeling a certain way,
Mhm.
and it's not always what it seems like.
Yeah.
And so being able to sit down and be like, "Well, why do you feel this way?"
Yeah. And
And
that's their, I mean, that's their point of view. And so you want to validate their feelings without like feeding into it,
yeah.
because I really think like at least this is what I've read or whatnot, with kids that with kids with divorced parents tend to, more than kids without divorced parents, tend to attention seek more because they're not getting it the way they need from either parent,
Mhm.
right? And so I think like we need to validate their feelings, but we don't want to feed into.
You don't wanna add into it. So,
Yeah,
like, a good example would be, like, "So and so's running late." Instead of being like, "Oh my god, they're always running late. I just can't believe this."
yeah,
It's like, "It's okay, sweetie. They'll be here in a few minutes."
yeah, yeah,
And that's not throwing their emotions away. That's validating the fact that they are wondering where the hell their parent is.
yeah.
And it's also, reassuring that it's okay. Everything's
Mm.
okay. Because you don't want them, I struggle with this. There's a lot of things in life I feared and I was afraid of almost moving forward for a very long time because I had that fear, you know.
Mhm.
Everything wasn't okay. I was always fight or flight.
Yeah,
And I don't want that for the kids. I
yeah,
want the kids to know that, like, even if it doesn't seem like it's okay, it's gonna be okay.
yeah. You made it through this, you can make it through
Mhm.
that, like
I mean, I grew up with my bio mom saying that she would show up and she wouldn't,
yeah,
and I grew up with that anxiety of when would I see her next.
yeah,
And, it really sucks because during that medical time that I went through, I hated every bit of it and I cried so much because I couldn't see my kids.
yeah,
I was tired all the time, in pain
yeah.
all the time, and it was like my immune system was attacking me, my freaking gallbladder got removed, and then my pancreas started attacking me, like, and then I had a bile leak, like,
Mhm. Well,
it was one after another.
yeah. Well,
I got, like, an infection or something, and
your
that's kind
ex
of
at the time was not very supportive. I could
oh.
like see that from the outside.
Oh, yeah.
Like I barely knew him,
Oh, it was horrid.
barely knew the guy, kind of a thing. Talked to him a few times as needed, but you didn't have that support, and I think the kids could see that, and I think that
Yeah.
was part of their worrisome, is that their mom wasn't being taken care of like she should be,
I was
and
working so many hours and then, like, all that medical stuff happened and I wasn't working, but I couldn't even
yeah,
get out of bed. I
yeah,
couldn't even, like, stay functional enough to, like, take care of things I needed to take care of.
yeah,
Like, I have so much medical debt because of that,
yeah,
but you're right, I didn't have the support I needed at the time, and I wish I would've seen it sooner,
yeah.
but I didn't, and unfortunately
It truly takes a village when there's kids
oh
involved.
my gosh, it
Takes a
does.
village. I mean, you've got to
And
take
you
care of
all kinda
yourself.
have to get to the same page.
Yeah.
Like, there was a time where we weren't on the same page, we weren't talking as much, we weren't communicating, our issues or where our concerns were, so, like, I brought up, Cairo and his medication, little misunderstanding, but still, you know,
Yeah.
there was a moment where I was like, "No, like, I don't wanna do that." I was standing my ground, and,
Mhm.
they had some, like, really good insights on why that was a good idea. Now, if I wouldn't have taken the time to step back and try and see their point of view, there would have been a lot of disagreements on that for a very long time.
And now
And now
we're
I'm
giving it
taking
a try
and
and
the
we can
other thing
stop.
is I'm putting his needs before my wants and desires, what he might need right now. And so, going back to their emotions and feelings, this is something that, I'm sure in both houses he struggles with emotionally and mentally because of the simple fact that, like, he's so disgustingly
And this
crazy and
was
I love
something
it.
that, like, he wanted to try. I mean, this wasn't something we kept pushing because,
Yeah.
honestly, like, because we knew how you felt about it. So we're like, like, let's try and find other ways. And oftentimes you'd be like, I need to be on medication. And a lot of times John and I would be like,
No, you don't.
let's try to find ways to not, like, you're not on the medication.
Well, and I even
And
said, let's
so,
try certain therapies and stuff like that. But on the same note, he came home during that week and he's like, Mom, it's helping.
Yeah. The
He's
way
like,
he
the tummies, he's like, my tummy's not horrid. He's like, it's helping.
Yeah, and the last couple well, he wasn't on it yesterday because he stayed home sick,
Yeah, poor
but,
guy.
yeah,
He did end up with the flu, so he did have a tummy ache recently.
yeah.
So poor little
But he
guy's
didn't
like,
have any tummy issues today, and he took his medicine today.
yeah, and see, he originally it was my tummy's fine, but it wasn't like the best. And
Yeah.
then like during that week, I'm
Which
like,
is an
no, dude, you're
adjustment for
gonna
his
just
body,
eat.
and that's
Like,
normal.
we're just gonna
Yeah.
eat. And we did. We ate and ate and ate. And I'm like, okay, let's get your like system kicking this in.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, like, the first 2 days he was on that medication, I got a message from his teacher saying, "Look, I know this is kind of probably too soon to tell, but I can already tell
Yeah.
a difference." And I asked Cairo, I'm like, "How would you describe how your head was before the medication and how it was after?"
Right.
And he's like, "It was like," I can't even remember the words he used, but something about like, it was like a lot of static or a lot of different noises at the same time. And now
Feels
it's
like a
like
million
quiet.
voices going off all at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
He struggles with the
So,
same thing I struggle with, which is
yeah.
I can't focus on anything.
Mhm.
So little fun fact is I have a hard time, like, I guess everybody's gonna say ADHD or whatever, but I have a very hard time being able to just, I'm sure you'll notice in our videos, stay on certain topics because my mind can't pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, it causes a lot of issues. And so I can understand where he says it's a lot of like noise, static, because like it really is to the point to where like you want to be able to focus.
Yeah.
You just simply can't.
Yeah. Now, if anyone has ADHD or things like that, like, let us know your experiences.
Yeah.
Send us a message, comment. Like, we'd love to
We'd love to hear
hear.
other people's
Yeah.
experiences. We'd love to hear questions, we'd
How
love
are we
to.
managing it? I mean, Kairo's a very active.
Right.
He really has a hard time focusing. Like,
He does.
you get him focused on something, and then literally like 30 seconds later, or have you seen 50 First Dates?
Yes.
10-second Tom.
Yes.
I mean, it's not that bad, and it's nothing like
Hi,
that, but
I'm Tom.
that's what it kind of reminds me of, because it's like you'll be talking to him about something that he asked about,
Oh my
and
gosh,
then he's like,
yes.
he's already moved on, like he
And that's
doesn't.
how I feel is like
Yeah.
you get going in a conversation and like Cairo and I, we can keep up together.
Yeah.
But like individually, everybody's like
Yeah.
too slow for us.
Yeah. Jonathan says that too, because has ADHD.
Yeah.
He's on medication for it, and that's how he feels a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just the world is just not fast enough.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, hurry
Which
up,
is so
people,
funny,
pick it
because
up.
I feel like the world is fast.
I know.
Fast paced, everyone's
Well,
losing patience.
I was explaining to Mike the other night, I'm like, I feel like, so I started going to bed. I'm actually up late tonight, but I started going to bed at like 8:30 and I've been waking up at 4 a.m. naturally, which is a freaking nightmare. Right? So she fully understands.
Yeah, I often wake up between 4 and 5 for work.
Yes. So, but I'm like waking up naturally this way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can feel time. It's slow. And it's
Yeah.
because I've got so many extra hours now that it's like I'm bored.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got you've got the determination to paint this room that we're in right now.
I know.
So if you notice, we have a different background.
Yes.
We've got a little bit of a different setup here. We're actually at her house this time. And you'll probably see some of
Moving
that.
around until
Yeah.
I find a stable, suitable studio.
Yeah.
So again,
But
like, share, comment,
yes.
repost, whatever it requires.
Tell your
Get the name
friends.
out.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and set up some subscribing platforms, and we're gonna try and make sure that we can take donations if you guys want to donate towards.
We're gonna add swag.
We're
Getting
gonna
some
bring
swag.
swag in, because why not? Let's
Yeah.
have some fun. Why not
Yeah.
merchandise as well? We'll also probably bring in some of our sponsoring companies swag into it a
Mhm.
little bit.
Definitely.
So transportation and
Royal Customs.
that one,
Mm-hmm.
and add them into it if you guys want something fun from us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe we should look into like a giveaway or something.
that would
So,
be fun.
if you're a business and want to
what-
partner into a giveaway, let us know. We'll do
Yeah.
a giveaway basket of of stuff.
tumbler, maybe a shirt,
Yeah.
jacket.
See if
Give you
we can
guys
get
some
some.
plot twist
Yeah.
swag. We're actually building some. So
Yes.
we're in
We're
the
working on
process of
some
designing
designs. Mm-hmm.
and just trying to figure out what we want to do. And as soon as that's hopefully in the next, month or less, I'd
Yeah.
like to see it, start soon.
Yeah.
If possible.
We're
Guys,
working on
my
it.
big family. So, if we can get that started soon, we would love to give one person a lucky little basket.
Yeah. Now I kind of want to, as we're nearing kind of the end of this
Yeah.
one, if there's anything that like you want us to talk about, this whole podcast is co-parenting, healing, and real life,
Yep.
right? I
So
mean,
you're getting the real life part of it and the heal, like you're seeing where we've healed.
right, right.
We're trying very hard to talk about the co-parenting because sometimes we get a little
Yes.
distracted. Let's be real.
Yes, but if there's anything you want us to talk about, I mean, we both come from very different backgrounds. We've both had very different life experiences before.
No, I did have one
Before.
commenter. Not on the medias, but privately message me, and she does have a couple of questions that we'll probably go into. But I've
Okay.
gotta show them to you.
Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about
We
it.
don't have
We
time
can,
today, but we will.
in the next episode,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it. We'll bring him to the next episode.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, if you have anything personal going on, you want our 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 thoughts on it. I mean, like I said, we've grown up very differently. Maybe we can talk about those questions next time, and maybe in one of these next few episodes, we
Right.
can kind of talk about our backgrounds
Well,
a
we could
little
talk
bit.
about
So
religion, how we were raised. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
get to
Little
know us.
plot twist to you. I actually was raised religious, so there is that.
Yes. Yeah.
So we can get into that. I mean, politics we're actually kind of close on.
Yeah.
But we don't do politics,
No.
people. That's for the crazy drama. Am I the a-holes out there? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys want to watch that? That's 2 doors over and on the left. But I appreciate everybody that's commented. I appreciate everybody that's liked or viewed. We aren't anything without our support.
Yes.
And we would like to turn this support into your support. So it's not
Yes,
for us,
exactly.
I think I've said this before. For us, it's not necessarily about money. It's
Honestly,
about
this is healing.
building a community of people that want to feel like they're not alone in the struggle because it
Yeah.
is a struggle. I mean,
Yeah.
and like
really is.
I've talked to her about the other parent, Alex. I've talked to her about I'm talking about Courtney. I've talked to Courtney about Alex. Sorry, let me clarify that.
Yeah.
About how that relationship, I wish it was better. I wish we, weren't in the position we're in right now because it's so much nicer this way.
Yeah.
But you don't always get that, and it's okay.
Yeah.
You have to take the good with the good and the bad with the bad, and you just
Yeah.
have to kind of hope for the best. And so, just remember, being the step parent or being the parent or being the guardian of any sort, the only thing that matters in this situation is what's best for those kids. Because you're not raising something to continue to traumatize. You're trying
But
to
you need
fix
to
it.
make sure you're taking care of yourself too.
Oh, and
if
that's
you're
part of it, in my opinion. I feel like if you're not taking care of yourself too, you're not capable of being able to take care of your kids the right way.
Yeah.
Because I suffer from depression. I had postpartum. I had a lot of issues too after I had Kira.
Yeah.
I had a lot of issues. Like, I remember one thought was so dark and so messed up. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just one of those things where it's hard.
It's
And
really hard.
having a community would be good. So we're here
Yeah.
for you guys. And we, if you're a guardian that's struggling, we always do a little shout out to those little things. We've done
Yeah.
it so far. If you're a guardian or a parent or a step parent and you're just going through a really rough time on, feeling like you're not alone, you're not alone.
You're not.
We're here for you. Just, remember,
Yeah.
the struggle may be there, but the reward is worth it.
Yeah.
It really is. I used to make fun of people that are like, yeah, I'm friends with my ex's wife, and I'm like, "Ew, why would you do that?"
Yeah.
You know?
I'm gonna mention this before we end. Back in 2020, a lot of people were posting more on like TikTok and stuff. Like that
Mhm.
online thing was a big deal. And I came across this one page. I don't remember the page. I don't even like see him on TikTok anymore on my FYP, but it was these two women, and it was a similar situation. One was the ex, and one was the new wife, and they were doing these TikToks together, just silly things,
Right,
right? And I always thought, like, it'd be great to have that kind of relationship, but in those moments, I was like, "There's no way I could do that. There's
right.
no way I could do that. Like, we're so different." And then here we
I
are.
felt that, and now look at
I
us.
know.
Hopefully, we didn't
So,
miss the line, though. We'll see.
right?
I mean, guys, I am seeing one thing that's very interesting. There is not much out there about co-parenting,
It's true.
and it
It's
really
true.
makes me feel like the stigma to co-parenting has been altered really deeply into parallel parenting,
Yeah.
and I think, we'll kinda go into that into our next episode,
Yeah.
but I think when you, know the difference and you try to work towards co-parenting and try and stay away from parallel parenting, it definitely
Yeah.
changes the dynamic by a lot.
Absolutely.
So,
But yeah, on that note,
good night,
thanks.
guys.
Good
Thank you
night.
for listening.
Yes.
Reach
Speak.
out. Have a nice night. That was you, not me.
No, no, you're good.